Appreciate it. Appreciate you making it here. I won't say on time, but injury report, cover that. Will Benton got hurt 2 weeks ago in the game. He'll be out for the year. And then Akilo Stone, Miles Forrestall will be out this week. Then Savion Riley and Chad Alexander still out. Everybody else full speed, ready to go. So no probables, no maybes, no anything else. So like I said last time, bye week was at a really good time for us. We were able to get healthy, recovered, recharge, and be full steam ready to roll on Saturday. So a couple things going on this week on campus with the game, and it's always exciting to get back and play here in front of our fans and our students. They've done such a great job of really helping to impact the game for us. Really going on 3 years now. I'm not just going to say this year. It's been this year, last year. What really started 3 seasons ago, and really supporting the football team and being loud, getting there early. The fun that they are able to have, and then the energy they provide. Really, the energy is what feeds off to the football team. And it does affect the game. It does. We need everybody to be here. We need to be loud when we're on defense, and especially on third downs, and help us and have those people help impact the outcome of the football game. So we got the anniversary of I think it's 35th anniversary of the 1990 national championship team. Having all those guys come back will be cool. A lot of really good friends on that from those years on that team. I was thinking about it as we were writing these notes up. I was thinking about, I think it would have been my senior year that it was the 10th year anniversary of the national championship. I thought they were all old. They're all in the stands, like right behind. I thought they were all old, and now it's the 35th year, and I'm old, and those guys are such a part of our DNA as a program. So many of them are not just supportive, but do a lot for us, and really believe in what the same things we believe in, and they're tech men. They've gone through the same things that these players are going through right now. So to have those guys back and honor them for the 35th anniversary, and then a lot of the coaches that were on that team, and that really carries over to I think it's the 50th year of the Bobby Dodd Award, the National Coach of the Year Award, and honoring the coaches with Georgia Tech back, that have been here at Georgia Tech that have won that award. And a lot of those guys were on that 1990 staff. So, you got to start with Coach Ross. Such an unbelievable football coach, unbelievable man. He won't be able to make it, but his son will be representing him. And then the 2 coordinators who later went on to become head coaches, Coach O'Leary, Coach Friedgen. Both have been, were huge impacts as coaches when I was a player. But Coach Friedgen still, I get texts from Coach probably every Sunday breaking down the offensive plays in the game and talking about, the way we use this or do this. And then Coach O'Leary, everybody knows, what he's been and meant to me as a not only a player, but as a young coach and then an older coach. And better part of really 20 years I spent with Coach O'Leary. And as my guy Mac McCorder says, dog years. So, but now just really excited to have those guys back. Then Coach Curry will be here as well. Coach Johnson, who I've never had the opportunity to play for or work for, but over these last 3 years is another one that's been really, really a huge help for myself. Just being able to, whether it's out at the golf tournament or when he's around, just being able to bend his ear and pick his brain on different things when it comes to football and game management and offensive play setting and just what a great football mind. And I say Coach Curry, but just the wisdom from him. Someone that has been a Tech man and is a Tech man, but played here and then coached here and was a head coach here. And went on to do so many great things in his career. So those guys are all extremely special to me personally, just because of the impact they've had on me in my career and how they've helped shape it. And even to this day, with advice and letting me just sometimes rant, but they've been great and just really, really excited to have all those guys back here and to be able to honor them. So it'll be a big weekend, but also be a big challenge for us. And we've been preparing all week. Good to know that we're back almost full speed now, as far as guys that have been banged up and whatnot. And we're excited to have a good football game on Saturday and excited for a good challenge.
Okay. Questions? Chad?
Yeah, Virginia Tech's run game, awfully stout. How do you go about trying to slow down their rushing attack?
Well, yeah, you got to get off blocks. Right? You got to know. First thing, so many times when there's a bust or a leak in the run game, it's did they get the call? Did they get aligned? Right? They get in the right stance and they have the right eyes. It's all the things that happen before the snap, right, that lead to a lot of errors. So we got to make sure we're sharp with that. We get the call quickly. We get down. We get set. We're ready to play. And then we got to pitch a fit to get off blocks. We can't stay blocked. Right? It's not just holding having your gap. Right? It's your gap, and then you got to overlap on the next one. Right? It's not just a singular person that has to make tackles. We got to overlap and have overlap in our defense. We got to play fast. We got to be disciplined, but at the same time, disciplined watching the ball. But get off and have good get off up front, and cover them on the back end when they are in passing situations to allow our defensive line to have a chance to impact the game by affecting the quarterback. But you're right. It starts with the run game with them. They've got some really good backs. They've got big backs. They're powerful. You see a lot of people bounce off of them. We've got to be sure tacklers, but that's also why the overlap has to occur, and we have to be able to gang tackle.
Jackson.
When you're facing a team that's 2-4 and has an interim coach, is there more worry than usual they could throw something at you hadn't seen on film, or just something completely unexpected, just throwing something at you?
Those are all hypotheticals. Those are all things we can't control the outcome of. We can't control what they're going to do. We don't know. Every time you spend worrying about that stuff, you're not worrying about your own team and getting your own team better. So it's like every week. The game's about us. It's about what we do. It's about how we play. It's about how we finish. It's about how we adjust. It's about how fast we play. How physical we play, the toughness we play with, and we preach all the time that to play no scoreboard and faceless opponent. That's what it is.
Patrick.
Coach Key, from a prep standpoint, is it of any practical use to you that their most recent opponent also happens to be your most recent opponent in Wake Forest?
No, not at all. I mean, you've got recent memory of that team, but look, regardless if you played them or not, you're watching film, you see it. It doesn't have any carryover. I bet if you went across the country and did a 10-year study, it's probably 50-50. I mean, I don't think that, I don't look at those things as having an impact on games. Again, all these things outside of what our control is, we worry about things that we can affect the outcome of. That's what we worry about.
Alex.
You talked about the 90 team leading up to the Colorado game a lot, and then this week kind of having them back. Just kind of how much does it kind of reinforce to your guys now that this place can be special, that this place can be a place where you can win a national championship?
I don't think it can be special. I think it is special. This place is special. It's very special. It's been very special for over 100 years. We happen to be at a time right now where the not just the football program, but the athletics programs are, playing at their capabilities, right, and doing things that we all want them to do. But no, this place has been special for a long time, right? And to have that degree from here, to see the people doing the things they do in their life after football or life after athletics, that's the real game. You heard Joe yesterday on Pat McAfee Roman Reigns. You heard Roman talking about Georgia Tech, and I mean, golly, you would think he had said in a recruiting meeting about what he said. I mean, it's the exact words we say. It's exactly what we talk about, because it's true, right? You can't just make stuff up and say the same thing that someone else says. It's real. It's true. It's a special place, right? But this year's football team is a special group of guys. It really is. This is a special group of guys that have been able to accomplish special things to this point. But like I said on Tuesday, none of that stuff matters leading up to this week.
Chad?
On defense, you got a lot of young guys making plays. Tay Harris, Amontre. How much do you think those guys can be sort of the cornerstone of this defense moving forward? The freshmen, the sophomores.
Yeah. Need them to play good on Saturday. Moving forward means 48 hours. So, I mean, that's why you recruit. That's why you build depth. That's why you work every day to develop guys. I mean, it's Thursday. We just came off the field, and the older guys we walked through after it for an hour prior to that. I mean, we had 60 guys out on the field doing developmental practice with pads on. We're doing 15 minutes of individual. We're doing group periods. We're one-on-one pass rush, 7-on-7, team periods, and then did a little kicking competition afterwards. So I think the longest one, we put it on the 30, then the 35. So had a couple guys surprise you out there kicking the ball. It was pretty good, though. Dalen Pinson now kicked a 40-yarder. Dalen Pinson did. It was Landon Marshall. It was about this high off the ground, though. No, but the developing players is really important to us in our future success. Been very pleased with the freshman class that we brought in, as well as the young transfers that we brought in to have time to develop. So, but look, to sit there and say, yeah, you brought in a good class and the future's bright. It's only as bright as the next class you bring in and the next guys you're building your roster with. And you constantly want to elevate. When we're looking at recruits, right, they've got to be equal to or better talent than the guys we currently have on the team. Right? If you're bringing in guys that aren't, if you don't look at it that way, you're never going to increase and improve yourself as a football team.
Any more questions? Alex?
You talked about this past week, kind of self-scout and everything. I know forcing turnovers hadn't been probably where y'all wanted to be the first 5 games. Just how much was that a focus in the off week, and kind of how much is that just kind of lucky breaks, or how you think it'll bounce that way kind of the second half of the season?
Well, the goal hadn't changed. The goal is to not have any turnovers. So if you wait for a bye week to address that, you're probably not going to be around a long time. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Yeah, we only want to have one. We want to get what? No, shoot. We want to take away 4 or 5. We want to, and you've got to protect the football. Everything's about the football. It's the most important thing. Have we improved? Yes. Okay. The first game was an oddity that I've never seen in my career until the second game, and then another quarterback, same issue. After that, then it's we've improved, but we're not where we need to be at all. But that's something we work every day. We work ball security, we work takeaways. Takeaways somewhat or a little bit, by chance, but you have to practice it. We've put a lot of emphasis on that the last 2 weeks. We got to get some possessions back in the game that way.
Patrick and then Chad.
Back into the memory banks for a minute. I just didn't think about this. You mentioned Coach Curry a few minutes ago. I guess you have a kinship with him in a sense. He was offensive lineman here, came back years later to be the head coach. And he was, I guess Bobby Dodd was still the director back then. But I just wondered, you mentioned Coach Friesian, y'all stay in touch. Does he ever call you about play calls and specific things in terms of game strategy as far as under your regime, as apparently Coach Dodd did back when Coach Curry was running the show? Did you follow all that?
That was a lot. I don't need to give Ralph any ideas now. I mean, he'll be calling every day. No, Coach Friesian is one of the greatest offensive minds to coach the game. Things he was doing back in the late 90s and then early 2000s, I mean, those are things that you really see a lot of people do now. And, taking option elements and incorporating it into, whether it be shotgun or under center, spread sets. He was so ahead of his time when it came to that and matchups. And I won't get into what we talk about or what we text about, but I had the chance over, I think it was in early June, May or June, at the Bobby Dodd golf tournament. Rode around with Coach Friesian, and I mean, we talked ball the whole time, whether it be quarterback reads or personnel or matchups. Very detailed text after games. Talking about the way we use motion to create this or to do this, and you really just create a 2-back set there to run your 1-back runs or your 1-back to run your 2-back. I mean, it's pretty in depth how he sees the game. Coach O'Leary, same way. But to your question, no, they've never come in and tried to suggest doing things, which I appreciate. But I know them both well enough to know when they say something, that's their way of trying to suggest something. And look, I take advice. I mean, I tell the guys on the team to be coachable. Shoot, we got to be coachable too as adults. And There's usually a pretty good substance behind what they say. I'll tell you that. Coach Curry, we've had some unbelievable talks in my office, just on big picture philosophy, running the program, dealing with issues, handling issues. Those guys have all been really, the things me and Coach Johnson have talked about. I think I said it in the press conference a couple weeks ago. Coach Johnson will be proud. We just backed up about 5 yards from what he's done for a long time. So, no, those guys are all outstanding football coaches, and that's why they're coming back to be honored for a National Coach of the Year awards.
Chad, you want to wrap this up?
Anthony over here was telling me that Kyle Eford out there sometimes has no idea what the score is, barely aware of who is even playing. Is that true? Is that how he plays the game? Is that sort of the standard you want the rest of the guys to play with?
Yeah, I say that all the time. Yeah. It's not bullcrap. It's real. It is. It's not easy, right? It's not easy, but it's more and more players on our team are that way. You're not down 17 points in a football game on the road, and everybody on that sideline still has the same mentality they did when the ball's kicked off, right? You don't have that mentality unless you are playing every play like it has a history and life of its own, right? And that's all that matters is that play. When that play's over, next play, whether it was good or bad. Yeah, you learn from it. You learn what you did well, learn what you didn't do. That's why we come to the sideline. We make adjustments. We coach them up. There is no scoreboard. There's no opponent. It doesn't matter who we play, right? We watch game tape to see schematically things they're doing, but you get in games too, and 30-40% of what you see is not what you've seen on tape yet. They have good football coaches too. So it is about what we do, how we do it, and then how we adjust within the game and take that information and translate it back out to the field. But I would hope everybody on the team is that way. But Kyle doesn't surprise me.
Was he always that way, or did that develop over time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's born that way. I think everyone wants to, everyone wants the big reward. Everyone wants to worry about the prize, but not what it takes to get it. He's special. He's special.
Anything else? All right.
That's it. All right, guys. Thanks. Go Jackets.
Thank you.